Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to ProSeek Training Center. So today's topic is about OSCP. OSCP stands for Offensive Security Certified Professional. This is basically the most sought after exam certification in the field of cyber security. So if you are someone who want to make a career in cyber security, so the one certification you must have to enter into the cyber security career is OSCP. Now, again, as usual, I have a habit of showing you the things which are actually real, not just making up things here. So, I want to show you a job description which is currently open at a certain organization and which requires this certification. So, here you can see on my screen, so Deloitte shared services 0 to 5 years experience, that is most important here. That means even if you are a fresher, you can still have a option of joining cyber security, provided you have enough skills and have this certificate of OSCP. So here we can see there are a lot of skills and one of them is OSCP. Okay, so here it is written OSCP or OWASP. OWASP we have already discussed what is OWASP, but today we are not going to talk about OWASP. OSCP is the most of the time we are going to talking about OSCP. Now OSCP, which jobs can you apply for? Now the jobs which you will be applying for OSCP will be mostly penetration testing and application security testing jobs. These are the primary jobs which you will be applying for. And then some common questions which are asked is what is the minimum academic qualification in order to pass this exam? Well, basically there is no such thing as a minimum academic qualification. Anybody with any academic qualification at any level, even if you are an intermediate student, a +2 student, you can also go ahead and attempt to write and pass this examination. So today we will go to further details about what exactly is this exam and how is the exam environment, how it is conducted, and what are the minimum prerequisite skills which are required even to study this certification exam, and what is the official course content, and what are the price for the exam, how much does it cost you to make one attempt or multiple attempts to this examination, and also what do they do in the exam, is this a theoretical exam or a practical exam, those things we will see. So basically in this OSCP certification examination, it's 100% practical exam, and then you will be given one vulnerable machine. So what is a vulnerable machine? A vulnerable machine is a computer which has got some bugs or some software vulnerabilities, some weakness in the software. The software can be an application software or the software can be the operating system itself. So you will be given the IP address of the machine, and all you have to do is, with your cyber security skills, obtain a local user access or the root user access or the administrator access of that machine. So this is boot to root kind of a setup in the examination. This is the whole idea. That is, offensive security is again one organization which conducts this exam. All right. So offensive security is the organization which conducts the exam. Now these people, the goal is simple. They don't want somebody to learn, memorize facts, information, and use multiple choice answers to write the answer and get a certificate, because the actual job requires a lot of hands on. Penetration is all about hands on. So they wanted to have a certification which is also hands on. So these offensive security, they have designed this exam with for 100% practical orientation, and the duration of the exam is 23 hours 45 minutes, approximately 24 hours, which means today morning 11 o'clock if you book a slot, the exam you will have to complete before the next day morning. And of course you can take a break for 5 to 6 hours to give some rest to your brain. A bio break is also allowed there. And where do you have to go and write this exam? Well, this exam you can write it sitting at your own home. It is online proctored examination. So there will be one proctoring team which will be scanning your room where you are sitting at. They will also be scanning the laptop which will be writing the exam on. You are not allowed to use multiple laptops or multiple screens to finish the exam. So they will be using their own specialized software to monitor your activity as well, to avoid any kind of a cheating basically. And then to pass the exam you must score at least 70% of the points. I will tell you about the points in a moment. And how difficult is this exam? It depends upon the skill level what you have. Now if you do not have any idea about what exactly is cyber security or anything like that, not fundamentally clear idea, then it may appear really hard for you. And then again intermediate and easy level for somebody who has got some experience and does a lot of practice. And in this session I will also give you how a roadmap exactly, the steps you have to follow in order to pass the exam OSCP. Now about the scoring, here it's not like a multiple choice or you're going to have a choice like a regular exam what we have in our school and colleges here. So here they will be giving us 5 machines, 5 IP addresses, and you are supposed to hack into these 5 machines. And once every machine will have its own objectives. Now, most of the objectives will be to get the root of that machine. So first machine maybe 10 points, 2 more machines 20 points, and 2 more machines 25 points. So you might have guessed here the more points will be given to the machines which are tougher to crack. And these machines are specially designed by the experts themselves. Alright, so you will be given 23 hours 45 minutes to crack these machines, right? And then to pass you have to get at least 70 or above, at least 70 or above. So that is the pass mark for this scoring the machines here. Now usually the objective will be privilege escalation. What is a privilege escalation? Privilege escalation is if you get access to the machine but the access is only for the local user. Local user does not have most of the rights to change the settings of the machine. So you have to escalate the privileges from local user to the root user. So that is usually the goal. And once you crack all the 5 machines, you are supposed to write a report on how you have, what are the method you have used, what tools you have used, how did you get there. In detail you will have to write a report and submit the report in the extra 24 hours you will be given. And after that they will thoroughly verify everything and then they will give you a certificate badge. So as I told you, the exam itself is approximately 24 hours. You will be allowed 6 hours break, and this will be 100% proctored exam. That means somebody will be there on the other side who will be continuously monitoring your activity. Now, what are the prerequisites? What are the minimum basic knowledge you must have? The basic skills you must have is you must have fundamental understanding about networking concepts like what is TCP/IP protocol suite, what is OSI model, and then what are the different protocols, how they work, their port numbers, the services. Plus, additionally, you must have an idea about basic of Linux file structure, Linux commands, and how Linux services actually function, and how to administer a Linux server. Plus, Windows administration mostly focus will be on the Active Directory and groups and policies. And you must also have an idea about some programming basics. For example, Python, Perl, and Bash scripting. A little concepts should be enough, because you are not expected to write a code separately, but you will be expected to modify a code which is already written in the machine. So sometimes machines will have some code, so you will have to modify those codes. So in order to modify, you must have an idea about these languages. I repeat here, you are not expected to write a program from the scratch, sorry. So you are expected just to modify and understand what the code exactly is. That is a prerequisite. Now let me take you to the syllabus itself about this penetration testing examination. So this is the official course content. Penetration testing with Kali Linux or PWK OSCP certification. Okay, so this is the latest syllabus what they have. Now here usually it starts with the Linux, understanding about different commands, how to install and remove the tools, how to manage the services of the Linux here, and how to control the Bash environment here, and then different ways to search for strings. Maybe you are trying to find out hidden passwords or hidden flags using this. Plus, you should be able to download or upload some files using different tools here in the Linux, and then you should be able to use other tools like Netcat, SoCat, these tools in order to upload or download certain exploits to a machine. Maybe there is a C program exploit, so you'll have to upload that exploit from your machine to the target machine somehow, and then run it to exploit that user. And then again, to monitor, you must know the tools like Wireshark, TCP dump, and then Bash scripting, as I told you before, and then learn about how to gather information about certain websites or resources over different tools like Shodan, and then Active Directory enumeration, and then SMB enumeration, vulnerability scanning tools like Nessus. Okay, and then web application attacking like Burp Suite, DARB, Nikto. These are the tools which you are supposed to learn thoroughly. This is just one level of preparation for OSCP. So remember here, OSCP is intentionally made a little harder so that you are almost at the level of industry job skills. These are almost the job skills. You are readily employable person once you pass the exam. So that is the reason they have made this exam really tough. So you can get this list from this URL. You can see the URL here. So these are the different tools which you are supposed to have a thorough understanding of this. Like, let's say if you are preparing for 10th class examination, then yeah, 10th class examination, then at least you must at least you must excuse me. And then yeah, let's go to the next one. Now the pricing part of the examination. The pricing part of the examination is after you have done your preparation. I'm saying after you have done your preparation, then if you are ready for the examination, here comes the fees part now. Now, offensive security themselves are going to offer you some study material. This is about 800 pages of PDF file study material, plus they are also going to give you a series of video lectures. So it is recommended that you go through all this material end to end at least twice and go through the video lectures. Plus, you are also being given a 30 days lab access. Now these machines which will be given will be the retired machines of OSCP examination. That means these machines will be might have been previously used for the actual exam. So you will be given access to those machines for at least 30 days, and this also includes the exam fees. So that would be 75,000 rupees. So 75,000 is for your study material, the video lectures, the exam fees and 30 days access. Now let's say you want more time, more hands-on lab, then you can go for other plans as well. 60 days it is 89,000 rupees, 90 days it is approximately 1 lakh, and then you can take a leisure time. Let us say you are a working professional and you want to crack this examination, you can't spend hours of time, then you can go ahead and take 365 days lab access as well. Alright, so that would cost you about a lakh and 62,000 rupees. And let's say you fail to pass the exam, so there will be a cooling period time, maybe at least a week, because you will be in a emotional state. So quickly writing one exam to another exam back to back is not recommended. So to cool you off, there will be a cooling period of time, and you can reattempt after the cooling period by paying an additional amount of 10,000 to 15,000 rupees only for the exam. So that's how the fees structure is designed. So it's not just about time, it's also about some investment which you have to do. I'm not talking about buying the exam and all those things. This is the investment of your lifetime which you are doing it, because this is going to make you a career. All right. And then finally, once you pass, you are going to get this badge from OSCP, Offensive Security Certified Professional, and OSCP will give you full support for the people who have passed by verifying the credentials. If some employer wants to verify your credentials, they will also give the link so that the employer can verify whether you have actually passed the exam or not. Now comes the roadmap. How you should prepare for the exam. What you have to do before you actually pay these fees. What is the preparation method most of the people follow so that they will pass 100% pass guarantee if you follow this method. How? The first step would be to go to a website called as Over the Wire. Now you have to study the Linux and all that stuff, and Over the Wire is one. This website at this moment is not working, so I'm not able to show you here, but Over the Wire is one website where it will test your Linux skills. Basically it is going to ask you little commands about Linux commands, little operations about Linux and all that stuff. So at this moment the website is down, so I'm not able to show you this. The second one is DVWA. Now DVWA is damn vulnerable web application. Now this is intentionally created vulnerable web application to test your web application testing skills or your burp suite tools and ZAttack proxy, whatever you say. So you can practice this here in the DVWA tool. So different types of attacks in OWASP. Okay. Like remote file injection attack or operating system command injection attack or SQL injection command attack. All those things you can practice here in DVWA. So once you are through with all the practicing of DVWA, then comes Pico CTF. Now Pico CTF is again one more website which is going to give you different challenges. CTF is basically catch the flag kind of a challenge. So here you are supposed to sign up for this one, and they are going to give one question like you have to extract something from a message or an image using different tools. Like they will be giving you some hash codes and you are supposed to dehash it or brute force it to find out what exactly that answer is, something like that. Okay, so this one I would recommend you to complete it after DVWA and followed by Vulnhub. Now what exactly is Vulnhub? Well, Vulnhub is again one more website where there will be a lot of vulnerable virtual machines openly distributed by most of the cyber security professionals in the world. So people who want to attempt this OSCP examination, they will go to this website and they will download different machines for practicing. So by the way, if you want to practice these things, you must have a good decent laptop, at least 16 GB of RAM and 1 terabyte hard disk space, and i7 processor is recommended because most of the times you will be using this vulnerable machines to deploy and you need a lot of space for these things. And of course you will also have a external hard disk to take a backups of these things, right? So here, depending upon the skill level, you can choose and download a machine. Let us say for example, I have chosen this machine to work on. So I'll click on this machine and then there is a download link here. I'll just have to click on download and then I can download the machine and start working on it, right? So there will be objectives which will be given here, what kind of a like a goal it is here, right? So easy box totally made for OSPP, no brute force is required, aim is to get to the root shell, that's it. So Vulnhub, my recommendation would be at least you must solve 100 to 150 machines here, minimum 100 to 150 machines you have to solve here in this one, so that you will have a lots of hands-on practice over different type of tools here, because the actual OSCP machines will be a lot tougher than these machines here, right? So once you are through this Vulnhub, the last step, the fifth step would be this website HTB or Hack the Box. Now Hack the Box, again this is a paid version and there will be a lot of resources. You can go ahead and you can explore this one. Now Hack the Box also has a lot of vulnerable machines, okay, which are almost like OSCP examination. Again my recommendation would be here you must solve at least 100 machines in this website. So this is a roadmap, so you have to follow in the same order: over the wire, basic Linux, fundamentals of your Linux will be cleared here, then DVWA, your web application skills will be cleared here, and then Picto CTF, your encryption cryptography skills will be clear here, and then Vulnhub, Hack the Box, you will be doing a lot of practice. And then in the Hack the Box, as I told you, the last one, these are the most recommended VMs Like in the Linux machine, there are lame VM and then Shocker, Chrono, Sense. Okay, and at Windows boxes there are some more, and then some more challenges here which are much better than OSCP. That's what they say. These are much tougher than OSCP. Obviously, if you are preparing for any examination, you are supposed to do beyond that. So 90% of the time you will pass once you follow this order. 90% of the time, right? Now people fail for various reasons. Number one reason is lack of motivation. Number two reason is even if they have motivation, they do not have proper guidance. That is number two reason. Now here at ProSeek Training Center we give both. That is, we give enough motivation for the student to uh, always have an attitude of never giving up, because sometimes these machines, once you are started cracking these machines, there will be rabbit holes. That is, you will be at a one particular situation where you will be stuck. That's a rabbit hole, you will not get anywhere else. So in that situation you have to think out of the box. So that comes with never give up attitude. So at ProSeek, we give the training from the scratch. That is, from the basic skills, from what is TCP/IP, what are the different protocols. Mostly there will be 30 protocols which you have to remember. What are the port numbers? Why do we need them? For example, what is FTP? What are the different softwares of FTP which are available, and how to find out the vulnerabilities in them? And then what is Windows machines, Windows administration, Windows Active Directory, and then what is a router, what is a switch, how does a packet move from one network to another network, and how to hack these devices themselves, what is a wireless network. And then we also train about basics of these scripting languages like Python, Perl, Bash scripting. And then we give virtual labs to the students. We have partnered with premium content providers globally, and then we are going to give student access 24/7 to virtual labs, so that they can practice at any time. Even if there is a holiday, they can still go ahead and they can continue doing this practice. And we have in-house labs which are hosting all these devices. Whatever vulnerable machines are there, most of them we are tracking, and we are having them hosted in our own in-house lab. So you are always welcome to enroll yourself to the next cybersecurity batch, which we are going to start very soon with a limited numbers. And the cost of the course also is really competitive. Most of the other institutes, they are charging in lakhs of rupees for this cyber security. So we are not going to charge that. And additionally, we are also providing 100% job assistance to all the students who get trained at ProSeek Training Center. So please enroll yourself. There is a limited time. The fees is really competitive. You can inquire about the fees. So I hope you have liked the session this week. Thank you very much.